Good morning from Washington, D.C. We're live streaming from the World Bank Youth Summit. If you're watching online, don't forget to follow the conversation using the hashtag WBG Youth Summit and C4C Zone. Today we have with us Georgina Chisholm and Coralie Vannoye. They're both co-founders of the Global Youth Climate Network. First of all, I will ask you to give us an overview about your new organization.
So Georgie and I created the Global Youth Climate Network. I think we started working on it 10 months ago, and we just launched it 1 month ago with a happy hour, with a climate happy hour, where we planted couple of hundreds of trees. So to give you an overview of the Global Youth Climate Network, it's really because we thought that a lot of young people are worried about the climate issues today, but they don't know really how to act. And since here at the World Bank, with more than 5,000 young people, we were really thinking that we can do something, and that's why I think Georgina will explain what exactly is our plan on the next couple of years. But it really came from the idea that a lot of young people are concerned about the climate issues, and we wanted to act as much as we could.
Yeah, and I'd just say, I mean, with the World Bank having country offices all over the world and a very broad network, as well as a lot of expertise here in DC, we thought we can draw on kind of climate experts to help spread more knowledge and information and raise awareness about climate.
Let me just ask you specifically, you're talking about asking youth to engage with you, but in a specific real life, what is the request from your organization?
Okay, so we have a couple of targets in our plans. One of the main one is to have a youth ambassador in each country of the world. So that will be our program launched next in 2018. So especially thanks to, as Georgie mentioned, all the country offices of the World Bank worldwide, we plan to have one ambassador who will kind of gather all the ideas of young people in this country and then report back to the GYCN locally. And also the big idea of GYCN is we realized a few months ago that there are a lot of competitions for climate innovations, but all of them are mostly organized by universities, or I mean, you have to be really well connected to take part of this competition. So the people who will apply to this competition to bring their innovations, they are well educated. It's not like people in small villages in developing countries. And what GYCN wants to do is really wants to target the people in the small areas where no one look after them, because we think that there are a lot of innovations there, like this guy who creates a house with bottles of water and stuff like that, and we want to give them a chance to expand globally. So that's 2 projects, and we have many others.
Yeah, so as well as that, we're looking to roll out smaller scale initiatives, so things like Meat Free Monday and Cycle to Work, kind of tangible things that people can start doing immediately to help offset climate change. And then also fundraising for charities that are already doing work in this space. So our launch happy hour that we had just a few weeks ago, that was fundraising for the Nature Conservancy to look to plant trees. And then we're also going to be inviting, prominent climate activists to come and speak to kind of spread more awareness at the bank.
Your network presents climate change as the defining issue of our time. Let me ask you, why have you decided to use young people to tackle this problem? It's a huge problem. It affects everyone in the world. Why the young people?
We think that, especially us, as young people, we really want to take part of it. And today, the millennials really need to align their values with what they are doing, which is not something that the previous generations were really worried about. So I think since the climate is one of the big issues for everyone, we think that the young people have the capability and they are really willing to, and they want to make a change in this to be aligned with what they think is good.
Yeah, I think young people are, first of all, just at the bank, but I'm sure worldwide also really energetic and can bring a lot to the cause. And we're obviously going to be most impacted by the effects of climate change, so have a personal interest in it as well.
Do you think that usually this group of people is left out of the conversation? And when I say conversations, I mean COP23 and previous conversations, the Paris Agreement, political agreements that's been happening around the world. Do you think they are a group that's left behind?
I think a lot of our top leaders, they are really waiting for young innovation, from innovation from young people. So we are not like aside, it's just that they are waiting for us to come up with innovations and successful ideas. And to do that, we have to encourage young people to dare doing something. So that's why GYCN is trying to do, is really like to bring all of young people together and to encourage them. Okay, here is if you have any idea, we really encourage you to turn it into innovations, to turn it into company, and we will give you, all the advice we can, and especially here at the bank with all the experts. I think we have a lot of resources to help any young people who is willing to do something.
Do you want to add something? Just talking about specific events and how people can engage with your organization, you have an event coming up in Washington, D.C. If you're around, you can participate. I'm going to give you more details on that. What's going to happen at the Climate Run?
So this Sunday, December the 10th, we'll be taking part in the Climate Run, a group of almost 100 youth from around DC. Unfortunately for this initiative, it had to be just DC based. And participants will be running either 5K or 15K to raise funds for climate-related non-profits. And it's going to be a really great event, so we're really looking forward to it. People can still sign up to take part on our website.
How many people do we have now?
100.
Okay, we have 100. We should raise this number for at least 200. Let's hope so. If you want to know more about the Climate Youth Network, you can find them on Facebook. We have 2 more interviews coming up, so if you're watching online, just stay tuned and continue following the conversation using the hashtag C4C Zone WBG Youth Summit. Thank you.